Morris,
Abstain.
Orama, Orama,
Abstain.
Pabon,
Abstain.
C. Perez,
Yes.
Robinson Teg, A. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Santiago,
Aye.
Scott,
Yes.
Schuler,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Rivas Vasquez,
I'm abstaining because it's confusing over here. I need better information.
Wilshire Clement, yes. Wu,
No.
that is complete.
Angel, can you give me a count?
Just a second. I think it carried, but give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like by one, maybe.
What was Adam's vote?
What was whose vote?
Adem, I think he abstained, correct, Adem?
Adem,
Yes, I abstained.
yes, he abstained.
Okay. Motion does not carry. There were 13 in favor, 6 noes, and 7 abstentions. So those are total of 13. So the motion does not carry.
Okay, Michelle, do you have a question?
The person Wu has put in the chat that I'm not sure what he's saying. Wu, can you please?
I voted no, and like I think other people, I would need
okay.
information in the future if I were to change that vote in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are we just moving on here? Okay. We'll move on to, sorry, I guess we're still on this, Xavier.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Because a lot of people abstained and a lot of people, I just want to give a little grace here for folks who may not have been informed. Is it a matter of people abstaining because they don't have the information? And at which, what could happen in order for there to be an opportunity for you all to have that information so that you can actually take a position? I guess that's the question that I have.
Nelsa?
For me, like I said, I've worked with youth for many, many years. And for me, I need to be better informed. I missed the last meeting. So, that's one of the reasons why. The fact that I keep hearing, I don't want to make a decision based on, you were very eloquent. So is Russell. Russell is my heart. But I need to go back and read more information. Does that mean that we should not maybe revisit this in the committee and bring it back? I think that maybe the comments that were made tonight, the director can address so that we have a better understanding. And I would have no problem, once I get my questions answered, to come back and revisit my vote and take it from an abstention. I did not want to say no, even though an abstention, even though an abstention counts as not a decision. I think for everyone who may have abstained, they felt that they didn't have the adequate information.
Can I respond quickly, Jessica?
Go ahead, Asher.
Yeah, I do agree that some people may need more time, but he has came twice, and I really do doubt he's gonna come back after the last time. We could ask him, but like like Pastor Scott said, I don't, after what happened, I don't think he's gonna come back, but
Okay.
we will try.
Can I make a suggestion that we lay this on the table tonight and send it back to committee? We can reinvite, graphics to come answer any final questions, or if I think what would be helpful is everyone who abstained tonight that does not feel that they have information can please send their questions to Asher and David to forward to graphics so that we can get answers on whatever it is that we feel that is preventing us from making a decision. Can we move in that direction? Asher, okay. So we'll send this back to committee. Asher and David will reach out to graphics. And this requires everyone who has abstained, who needs more information, to please convey what that information is that you are missing in order to make a decision quickly to that team via email. Thank you.
I'm gonna put my email in the chat, so and David's email, so if anyone wants to email us your questions and stuff, I'll make sure that it's brought up to Mr.
Great.
Smith.
Thank you, everyone. It is 10:36 and we are going to move the meeting along. Thank you so much for this great conversation.
I have a point of clarification. I'm very sorry, but I have a point with regard to the motion itself.
Sure.
Okay. So in addition to what Nilsa just said, I agree with her and other people, but the motion itself to me is not clear in terms of what, because you all, there's a motion there, but what was said was something a little bit different in terms of what you were asking from us. So that needs to be clarified as well, in terms of what exactly is being asked in terms of from this entity. And I don't think that was actually clearly, it's not clearly stated based on what this motion is. And that's my my issue with this whole thing.
Okay.
So if somebody could, and you should really, you should not really have acronyms for things, you should really kind of spell things out. Because I'm not a part of this committee, and I appreciate everyone's discussion, because I know nothing. I went to the website as everybody was speaking because I but that's the other thing too. This motion itself, I don't think it's very clear. When that say,
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, everyone, I apologize. I got booted out of the meeting and couldn't get logged back in. Per Nils, I see your hand raised, but per Robert's Rules of Order, the motion failed on the floor. And this would have to go back to committee per our guidelines. But Nilsa.
No, I just wanted to comment that it's not only the abstentions that need more information. People who clearly voted no obviously has some questions or some concerns, whether it's like Jewel mentioned, the motion, the way it was worded or anything like that. So I think that anybody who has a question, regardless whether you abstained or not, should definitely send in their questions so that there's more clarity across the board. That's all I wanted to say.
And Xavier, just to let you know, while you were booted off, we agreed to send this back to committee, and that everyone who has questions or need more information to email their questions to David and Asher to get information from graphics.
Great. Thank you very much, Jess. All right. And then we will move the meeting along, and I'll pass the baton for you for just the next two real quick. Everyone, we're going to try to get through the remainder of it, and thank you for your patience.
All right. Next, we have land use, landmarks, and planning. Nilsa?
Yes. Hello. I'm going to make this very brief. So I believe our draft minutes are in for informational purposes. We have two presentations. One was from Mount Sinai. They wanted to amend a previously granted special permit and variance in order to renovate the existing Klingenstein Clinical Center for an expanded oncology program. They did their presentation. It is on our website. So if you want more details on that, please go into the presentation. Please note that since this was not on the BSA calendar, landmarks and land use did not take a position on a letter of support or anything like that. So we have a little bit of time based on when they get on the calendar. We also had another presentation by Lo van der Valk from Carnegie Hill neighbors, regarding development alternatives for the ECF project. As you all know, or most of you do, that's the 96th Street project that would house Co-op Tech, and originally was supposed to house at least 2 other high schools and another developmental disabilities program. And so he gave us different scenarios on what could be built on that lot, how you can reduce the height, how you can incorporate the schools. And so we wanted to thank him for his presentation. Everything else was just a discussion on the old stuff that we've discussed. And with that, if there are any questions, I would recommend that you go see our film, so that you can get better educated and read the discussion and what questions came up out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nelsa. Jessica?
Thank you, Nilsa. I'll only add, and if I could take your last 30 seconds here to do so.
Absolutely.
One of the important points of feedback that we received from Department of City Planning with regard to the ongoing conversation about potential changes at the ECF site is the question I asked, which was how much change invalidates the ULURP approval? And the response was that it's up to DCP to determine whether substantial compliance is met, or if a new ULURP needs to happen. So that's something that I want to make sure is on our record and that our board members are aware of, and that perhaps we can follow up on in future conversations, because I think if DCP is going to bat for us with regard to potential changes, that is definitely a direct line of communication that we should have open as we continue to engage with the future of that site. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Are there any other questions for Nilsa? Okay, thank you, Nilsa. We'll move along to the next committee. Public Safety and Transportation, Jose.
Guilty. Okay, I have 2 action items. Actually, tonight I'll make it short because it's almost 11 o'clock. One of the action items was a motion to support the proposed intercity bus stop at East 103rd Street, 5th Avenue for the Top View sightseeing bus tours. Just for some clarifications, this we actually voted against this previously a few months ago. They DOT sent it to us without actually a presentation from Top View. We sent them our comments along with our no, and they responded. And he was very happy to come and give a presentation. For clarification, this route already exists. It's been there for many years. This bus goes around Central Park. On the west side, the last stop is the Museum of Natural History. Then it goes up and around, and typically the next stop would be the Guggenheim. However, this motion came in support from the El Museo del Barrio, as well as the Museum of New York, because this stop will be right in front of them, which obviously they are very excited for. I think it's something very positive for our neighborhood, and was happy that it passed. You want to do this one at a time, or do you want me to keep?
Yeah, we'll do them one at a time, if that's okay. So let's pause here for any comments or questions on this. And if anyone has a motion, please raise your hand. Jessica?
Beware, I get a second wind at 11. Jose, my question is, was there any discussion at the committee about, how do you say, conditions that are attached to your yes? Such as DOT conducting studies with regard to the traffic along 5th Avenue from 96th Street North. Thank you.
No, there were no conditions attached because this bus already drives through 5th Avenue. The route is pre-existing. All they're doing is adding a stop, but they're already driving. They've been driving through there for years. So this is not additional traffic or an additional, they're currently driving through there. They go around Central Park. So
Right. No, I get it. I know the bus doesn't cause the traffic. It's a traffic point, and in the opportunity to exercise the board's voice to DOT commissioner, to use that opportunity to say, hey, there's a problem here. Putting another bus stop isn't going to make it worse, but it's certainly not going to make it better. Can you take a look? It may be an opportunity
this was not, I'm sorry, Jessica, this was not DOT presenting us. This was actually the bus company.
Right, but I do imagine that our position would go to Commissioner Rodriguez.
Okay, I want to limit the crosstalk. Thank you, Jessica, for your
Thank you.
question. Michelle?
Hi, I just wanted to emphasize that the owner of the bus company answered our questions of how long does it take for the people to get on and off, to embark and disembark. The amount of people, and he was saying it'll make maybe 30 seconds, the longest a minute. So there is no, and there's a bus stop already in place. So there's no real extended time period that the bus is staying or idling. It's just on and off and moving. I witnessed myself during the conference, 2 buses pass by and just go through our neighborhood. So I would like to make a motion in support of the proposed intercity bus stop at East 103rd Street, 5th Avenue for top view sightseeing.
Thank you, Michelle. Before we take a second, Nilsa, is that a question or a second?
No, actually, it's a question. Just the general information. How many people, if you have a rough idea, ride on the bus, on one single bus? Because you're saying 30 seconds to a minute. I'm just curious as to what would be their max, just to get a sense of timing in idling, since that was brought up.
I don't know what the max is, but that would be assuming that every single person would get off at the same time, which is
Right. So, right. That's what I was just wondering. Like if it's a 60-person bus, So, okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Michelle, is that to answer Nilsa's question?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
From what I have seen from other bus stops, not a lot of people get on and off. It might be 10. So his average of maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute was reasonable to embark and disembark.
Thank you. I'm going to keep it moving. Jessica, is that a second?
It's a request to consider a friendly amendment, adding a condition to request that DOT consider a traffic study from 106 to 96 along 5th Avenue.
Do you accept the recommendation for a revision to your motion, Michelle?
I would like to know the time frame for that, because to have that as an open-ended thing does not seem healthy.
It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion that DOT look at that area for issues of congestion.
we can make that request separately from this motion. It shouldn't be an issue, because I do agree that that particular area, I mean, most of it is the traffic from Mount Sinai, but so that request can be done because it shouldn't be together. It doesn't really make sense for them to be tied together, but that is something that we can present for next meeting.
Okay. The motion stands then, Michelle, as stated.
Correct.
Beverly?
Yeah, so if the DOT does this investigation for the traffic from those two, between that area, and it's not good, and we say yes now, I mean, how do we take it back?
As Jose already stated, this bus is already going through the neighborhood, so it's not adding to the traffic. It's already there. And I think the chair's recommendation to carry that forward in committee is
okay.
So we should continue forward. We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Then I second.
Thank you, Beverly. Let's take the roll.
Altamirano,
Yes.
Autry,
Yes.
Brija,
Yes.
Crenshaw,
Yes.
R Diaz. Oh, I'm sorry, Crouch.
Abstain.
R Diaz.
Yes.
Donadell.
Abstain.
Elliott.
Yes.
Febrero.
No.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your vote?
No.
Thank you. R Flores. Green.
Aye.
Hopkins.
Aye.
Jones.
Yes.
Malavey.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Morris.
No.
Orama.
Yes.
Pabon.
Yes.
Perez. C Perez.
Yes.
Robinson Take. A Rodriguez.
Yes.
Santiago.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Schuler.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Vivius Vasquez.
Yes.
Wilshire Clement. Yes. Wu.
Yes.
Roll is complete.
Thank you. Sounded like the motion carried, Angel.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, great. We have Xavier back and he'll take us through number.
That was an Angel that responded. So whoever that was, be quiet. So yes.
Shut him down, Angel. All right.
Yeah,
So,
the motion carried.
yeah,
I
and
can't.
Jose hasn't had a chance to explain anything about number 16 yet, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Jose, go ahead and jump in.
that was me that answered. All right, the next motion is we had a motion against the 5G cell tower installations. It's made by Michelle, seconded by Carlos, and passed 5 in favor, 3 against. As you can hear from our public presentation, we had quite a large number of people from the public, private. A lot of people were against it. We received the most emails I've ever received. Even our chair Xavier forwarded me a lot of emails. There are quite a lot of concerns for health issues in regards to 5G and the proximity that these are being installed in our neighborhood, while in other neighborhoods, they will not be installed. So that's the motion.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, this has been debated for several months now. And Nilsa, do you have a question, or Michelle? You had your hand up. Did you have a question?
No, I had a comment on an individual that we had who came and spoke from Silicon Harlem, and he is willing to answer anyone's questions pertaining to this issue as well.
Thank you. Nilsa?
Yeah, I just want clarification. When we take the vote and if we vote on the motion as written, if we vote yes, we're supporting the denial of the towers, correct?
Yeah, so if you motion to support the committee's recommendation, so look at it that way, then you would be yes if you support the committee's recommendation. Think of it in that context, yes.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
The recommendation to against the 5G cell tower installations. Okay,
Yeah, I just thought that should be clarified for everyone. Thanks.
I appreciate it, Elsa. All right, so Michelle,
I'd like to make a motion
for
against the 5G cell towers installation.
Okay, we have a motion on the table that is against the 5G cell tower installations, which was exited the Committee of Public Safety and Transportation. Is there a second?
A
Candy?
second.
Wanda.
Wanda, oh, you can't raise your hand. Okay, so Wanda is seconded. Please call the roll.
Altamirano,
In favor.
Autry,
No.
Brija,
No.
Crenshaw,
Yes.
Crouch,
No.
Just to remind everyone, this is a motion against the installation. So just to remind everyone, so we don't get confused and have to go through another roll call. So just again, reminding everyone. Thank you.
Diaz,
Yes, I'm against.
Donadell,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Febrero,
Totally against.
you're against the 5G cell towers. Okay.
Is
Flores,
more effectively than a healthy lifestyle alone.
I'm sorry, can you mute yourself there, Judith? Thank you. Flores, Green,
Aye.
Wanda, Hopkins,
Yes.
Hopkins, okay.
Yes.
Jones, thank you. I got your response, Hopkins.
Jones, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Malave,
Yes, against.
okay, thank you. Jennifer Mayer,
No.
Morris,
No.
Oraba,
Yes, against.
Pabon,
Yes, against the installations.
Perez,
Yes, against installations.
Robinson Teg, A. Rodriguez,
Yes, I'm against the installation.
Santiago,
Aye.
Scott,
I need to abstain.
Schuler,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Viva Vasquez,
Yes, against.
Wilshire Clement, absolutely against. Wu,
No.
that's complete. It's very close, Angel.
It looks like it carries. Angel, please confirm.
It carries, it wasn't close.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jose. I'm going to move the agenda along. Economic Development and Culture, Giselle, you are up.
Good evening, everyone. Just pull up my notes. I believe we have an action item. I'll go quickly through our meeting minutes provided by Jessica Morris. Thank you, Jessica. We had Uptown Grand Central come in, give their updates. Open Streets will be starting soon. Benny Calderon from Union Settlement with a few updates. I'll mention one, East Harlem Nights coming up in June, and the visioning session that happened in March 25th. 70 community participants attended, which is great. Chelsea Pelot from Museum of El Barrio, also with her updates. Just to name a few, new exhibitions coming up next month, and Super Sábado, which is scheduled to be on June 3rd. They are engaging in hybrid programming, but they're focused on bringing back in-person programs. And they also have an Uptown Bounce Tuesday, June 13th. We had a quick presentation or discussing an event with Not Another Child for a Father's Day event in June. More details with that next month. We had a presentation from Harlem Grown, launching an RFP as well to provide funding and long-term support for funding programming. They had a info session on Monday, 4/24, reviewing application opportunities to collaborate with our community and artists here. We also had a announcement for January 2024, funding support for selection committee participation, just discussing certain activations. It was a very informative and fruitful meeting. Angel, is there an action item? I believe from the collective.
There are two.
Okay, so the collective is a conference for LGBTQ community from New York. They have hosted their event in East Harlem for many years, and they would like to again host their event this year at the Silverman School of Social Work. We pretty much ended with an open-ended conversation that Angel would get in touch with the Silverman School of Social Work and hopefully get them in contact so that they can host their event there Saturday, June 3rd, 8 to 6. And it's pretty much going to be 100 people event offering workshops, seated auditorium in the room, classrooms, and just a lot of, I guess, great work happening. We also had a presentation, Ryan Patrick, NYC Mural Arts End Project. We had another presentation from Services for the Underserved Partners, Harlem Wellness Works Clinic Certified Behavioral Health Clinic. And all of this information is in our recording. You guys are welcome to look at it. So if there's any questions about the motion, I'll entertain it.
Yep. Thank you very much, Giselle. And there was also a second motion made by Stephanie Arroyo to formally request that the NYC Department of Cultural Affairs provide an update on the status and expedite the approvals necessary for the installation of the Victor Beyond Sim statue on 104th Street and 5th Avenue in Central Park. And that motion was seconded by Jewel Jones and passed unanimously. The other one was, hold on just a second, Asher. And the other one that was read in was to support let's see, motion by Jewel Jones to provide a letter of support for Mexican identified lesbians of color collective, the collective, in its effort to host a New York Pride Month conference on Saturday, June 3rd at the Silverman School. And during executive, it looks like that it has been arranged. Asher, you had a question?
Oh, no, I was just going to make a motion to approve the committee's recommendations.
Okay, I would like to bundle both of these, please, if you don't mind, just to move things along. So Asher, would you like to motion for that?
Do I need to read it out again or just
No, you do
bundle?
not. You'd like to
Okay.
combine action items 17 and 18 in support of.
All right, motion to approve the committee's recommendations for action items 17 and 18.
Is there a second? I saw Isaac, your hand come up.
Yes, that's a second.
Thank you, Isaac. Let's move along. Please call the roll, Michelle.
Altamirano,
Yes.
Autry,
Yes.
Brija,
Yes.
Crenshaw,
Yes.
Crouch,
Yep. Yes.
Diaz,
Yes.
Donadell,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Rebrero,
Yes.
Flores, Green,
Yes, ma'am.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Malavey,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Orama,
Yes.
Pabon,
Abstain 17, yes 18.
and yes 18. Okay. C. Perez,
Yes.
Robinson Tate, A. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Santiago,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Ruth Schuler,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Rivas Vasquez,
Yes.
Wilshire Clement, yes. Wu,
Yes.
roll is complete.
Thank you. The motion's carried. Thank you very much, Giselle, for presenting on behalf of Economic Development. Going to move us along. We do not have Stephanie Arroyo or Jason Villanueva here tonight for Statement of District Needs and Budget. Angel, do you want to give a brief recap of that meeting, or shall we move on?
I do not.
Okay, very good. Let's move along to executive. Tell us how you really feel.
Okay. Okay.
If you can move the
You sure that
slides,
was
please.
Angel?
No, it could have been Jose incognito. So we can move the slides, please. Okay, thank you very much. Keep this as brief as possible. We had action item number 19 and number 20, Cinco de Mayo Fiesta number 690528 that came before us. This was registered earlier when we had community residents, business owners on 116th. They expressed their general displeasure. They did come to the board office and meet with us, the applicant, Alex Garcia, and his right-hand man, his manager of the event, and they have leaned in by offering, depending on the table rentals, a 50% discount. And he's going to work with everyone, deal with garbage removal if necessary. And after reviewing with the businesses, he will rent more porta potties and provide better locations or wayfinding for the restrooms. Alex and Hugo's is GM, will work more directly with the businesses and communicate effectively to remedy any concerns. This Saturday, we're supposed to go out and take a walkthrough for it. That's the long and short. It came before us right after full board. So that's why it's being compiled with this month's meeting. And again, it was in support. It was a motion made by Jose Altamirano, a second by Michelle Wiltshire Clement, and passed unanimously with those provisions. Number 20 is 23112 Drexel Corp doing business as room 112 Bar and Lighthouse Fish Market, the renewal and alteration application for a full liquor license number 1325459 for a restaurant located at 508 510 East 117th Street in Pleasant Avenue. Motion was made by Jessica Allen and seconded by Nilsa Rama to deny the application for the renewal of the full liquor license. Again, going back on that one, the number 19 is a little bit easier to in support. 20, we did spend an inordinate amount of time, about 40 plus minutes, having a discussion with the representative, Adam Powell. We did ask if they would extend the same reduction of hours as previously stated during licenses and permits. The response when it came to the additional evidence that was provided to the board was in many ways, I would say, sidestepping the dialogue and accountability, although the videos in the same sense couldn't be directly identified. We did, however, have other members who live of the community who live in that area who had registered the complaints. And it was also noted that the noise issues and late nights did occur right after licenses and permits, as the timestamps noted in the videos. We did ask if they'd be willing to surrender one of the ad bars that was given during the pandemic without coming before the board, and the representative of the applicant said no. That also just forced our hand into saying, listen, we took this position last year about the ad bar should not have been added, and we also requested a reduction of hours. After the motion was passed, it was noted that Mr. Powell exhibited a very recalcitrant tone, and when we made the recommendation that he should lean into the community going forward, he said, well, we'll get the license anyway. It was very dismissive. That did not leave a good taste in many of the executive committee's mouths. And as such, I think, again, we're going to try to reach out, but this was the committee's recommendation. So number 19 was to approve. Number 20 was to deny. And I would be willing to accept a combined motion to accept executive committee's recommendation. Nilsa, and then Jose.
I make a motion to accept the executive committee's recommendations as stated and written in our agenda.
Thank you. Jose?
I second.
Okay. Please call the roll.
Altamirano.
Yes.
Let me just move this way. Autry.
Yes.
Brija.
Yes.
Cronshaw.
Yep. Yes.
Crouch.
Yes.
Diaz.
Yes.
Donadell.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes.
Cabrero.
You can say,
No.
okay.
Flores. Green,
Aye.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Malave,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Orama,
Yes.
Pabon,
Yes, yes.
okay, thank you. C. Perez,
Yes.
Robinson Tag, no. A. Rodriguez. A. Rodriguez. Santiago,
Aye.
Scott,
Abstain.
Schuler,
Yes.
Vasquez. Vasquez,
Yes.
Vives Vasquez,
Yes.
Wilshire Clement, yes. Wu,
Yes.
and in the chat, I think she's, wait. Did
Asher,
someone,
yeah, Asher, would you unmute, please? I didn't see it.
I said yes.
Okay, all right.
okay, so Asher, he has voted yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion carries for both items 19 and 20. Thank you very much. CB11. Nilsa, is that an old hand from motioning?
Very
Thank you.
old. Let me put it down.
Like my bones, very old. New business. Any new business? Seeing no hands. Old business. There is none. I will stand that last roll call as our final roll call announcements on April 20th, 2023. Mayor Adams issued emergency executive order 387, which extends COVID-19 emergency declaration for 30 days through May 20th, 2022. Where there is local state of the NYS open meetings law allows community boards to have virtual meetings where there is a local state of emergency declared by the mayor. CB11's next full board meeting is scheduled for May 23rd. I appreciate all of your patience and for the robust conversation, and I look forward to hearing from you, and we will continue to move forward advocating for the community. Thank you all. I wish you a very pleasant night.
Good night.
Good
Wait,
night,
wait.
everybody.
Good
What?
night, everyone.
You had the announcements already?
Yeah, we're that quick.
Good night.
Bev, do you have an announcement?
Well, yeah, I already put it in the chat. It was just something that Harlem District 9 State of the District on Housing and Town Hall meeting is going to be by virtual. And I put the chat in there, the link in there for y'all to sign up for it.
Thank you very much. Everyone click on that before Angel terminates the meeting. And Jason, yeah, that last roll call was our action items during executive. I was being kind. So to not put it through another. Have a good night, all.
All right,
Good
thank you.
night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Go Knicks.
Good
night.
Thank you.